What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a high fade on my boy, so stay tuned. We started off by using our gold FX to create our first guideline, and we're contouring to his head shape. Make sure you use your opposite hand to stretch the skin so you can have more space. I feel like the best trimmers to bald out with are the Babyliss, so make sure you get these to bald out. Now that we're done balding him out, we're going to use some shave sticks so he doesn't bump up while we use the foil shaver to remove the stubble. Now we're going to use our Babyliss to remove the stubble. We're going to flick out around 1 centimeter away from the guideline. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Greatly appreciated. Also, make sure you guys leave a comment down below with the subscriber count. I want to make sure you guys made it this far into the video. Again, don't forget to stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand to give you more space. Now that we're done removing the stubble, we can move on to our OA blade and create our second guideline. This is going to be equivalent to our no guard all the way open. Now that we're done setting in that guideline with the OA blade, we're going to move on to the 3-op, which is the blade with the 3 zeros. This is going to be equivalent of you closing the lever midway and attacking that guideline through the middle. Make sure you flick out this line as much as possible using the 3/0 blade. This is gonna blend it out pretty good. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to the 1/8 blade and debulk the top. Here I'm just adding some extra detail with the 3/0 blade. Again, the 3/0 blade is the blade with the 3 zeros. Now to blend between the 0/8 blade and the 1/8 blade, we're going to use the 1 and attack that guideline through the middle. As you guys can see, the blend is coming in, and I want to make sure I remove as much hair as possible. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the fade nice and clean, make sure it's nice and long and low. Now that we're done with the fade, we can move on to the front line, and we're going to use our gold FX to make sure we start off in the middle and make it as crispy as possible. Make sure to keep the corners and vertical bars as natural as possible as well. Make sure that you go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair is going to shift and then you won't line them up properly. Now that we're done detailing, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Derby Premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. We're gonna make sure we apply some shave gel just so that the razor could glide better. Now that we're using the razor, you want to make sure you stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand and keep the razor at a 45-degree angle. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. I hope you guys made it this far. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated, man. I'm starting to see a lot more subscribers and a lot more views, but it's hard to stay as consistent as I am, you know, and post every day and keep the same quality. So I'm trying my best, and I am gonna get better. And I'm thinking about opening up some new things. Okay, so there's a lot of things coming. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned, please. Transaction we had. He needed some change, so I gave him some change. I usually charge $40 for a base haircut. That includes eyebrows, but you know, everybody usually throws some, you know what I'm saying? And then also, if you need a hot towel or beard, that goes to like $45, $50, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Yeah, man, this is a great career, man. I suggest it. Look out. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid-taper on my boy, so stay tuned. He came in looking a little crazy today, so we made sure we saturated the hair and comb everything in place, making sure our canvas is nice and neat. Now that we're done cleaning up our canvas, we can move on to the back and create our first guideline using our Gold FX. Now that we're done bottoming them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You always want to make sure you create this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. We're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Make sure to use your opposite hand to either stretch the skin or comb the hair. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're going to use this same guard and the lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. We are right underneath the occipital bone, so you want to make sure you detail and spend as much time here. Now that the line is soft enough, we're moving on to our half guard and we're going to try to erase the line completely using our corners and the lever. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. We're using the comb to feed the hair into the clipper while flicking out as much as we can. We're also going to use this same guard and the lever to soften up the line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you want to show some extra support, go follow my Instagram. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we can move on to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Always make sure to use your lever and its corners. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and using its corners will definitely help. Now we're moving on to our 3 guard all the way open and we're making sure we flick out as much as possible while feeding the hair into the clipper using our comb. Now we're moving on to our clipper oval comb method, and we're going to use our horizontal cuts to make sure we debulk as much as possible, and our vertical cuts to make sure we blend as much as possible. Here we're debulking the sides with a little bit of clipper oval comb, and we're also going to use some shear work. Moving on to the side taper, we're going to use our Gold FX to create our first guideline, and we're going to make it into a curved shape. We're also going to shave off his sideburns and make sure his face is nice and clean. Now that we're done bottoming them out, we're going to move on to the back ear line and line it up, starting off at the bottom, working our way to the top arch using the corners and making sure the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. Now we're using our foil shavers to remove the stubble and make sure everything's nice and bald. Now that we're done balding them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. We also want to follow that same curved shape. Now that we're done tacking that initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Remember, we're going to use the lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. This is going to help us collect to the no guard all the way open. Now we're using our half guard to make sure the line between the no guard all the way open and the one guard all the way open is completely blended out. Using our two guard all the way open, we're going to create our fourth guideline and use the comb to feed the hair into the clipper. Remember, we're going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up the line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. Now we're moving on to the 3 guard all the way open, and we're going to continue to debulk the side taper. We're making sure the transition between the complete baldness and the bulk on top is completely smooth and unrigid. Here we're using our clipper oval comb to make the sides as clean as possible and take care of any weight lines. Now that we got our rough draft, we're detailing as much as possible with our previous guards, including the 2 guard and the 1.5 guard. Using our Go to Effects, we're going to line up a C cup, starting off at the bottom and working our way to the top arch. Going back to my one guard all the way open, I'm using its corners to detail as much as possible. Before we do our shear work on top and on the sides, we're going to make sure the hair is nice and saturated so I can get its true length. Now that the hair is nice and saturated, I'm going to comb everything in place. Starting off in the front, we're going to grab our first guideline and show them the length we want to cut and continue it through the top of the capitus, connecting it to the sides. When using your shears, you want to make sure you grab the hair with the comb, feed it into your fingers as tight as possible, stretch it as much as possible, and cut it with your cutting blade. As you can see, I'm connecting the sides to the top and making sure everything's nice and smooth. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. If you made it this far into the video, leave a comment down below of my subscriber count. I'm 100% gonna reply to it. Now that we're done with our shear work, we're going to move on to our Turkish razor and Derber premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. But before we do that, we're going to apply some shave gel so our razor could glide better. When using the razor, you want to make sure you stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand and keep the razor at a 45-degree angle. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone.